Okay, officer, I admit it. I admit it. I stole another saying. Food funeral. This is also known, at least in my experience, as the final food binge because I'm never, ever, ever going to have that item again, ever in my entire life. I mean, that's how dramatic we can get, right? And so we might sit with the entire cake, the entire pan of brownies, the entire bowl of chocolate chip cookie dough, the entire pizza, the entire enchilada, whatever it is, the final drive-through of exactly what you want from your favorite franchise. There are so many different places that we can have our food funeral, the final binge, like the alcoholic on their way to detox, guzzling that pint of rot gut vodka. There we are, with no shame, no remorse, and no clue that it might not be our food funeral after all. Forget about it. So, but we can't stop people because, I'm entering Weight Watchers on Tuesday. So from Sunday to Tuesday morning, I'm having whatever I want. And then, of course, you get really excited because the first weigh-in shows you've lost 6 pounds. That's because it was the final 2 food days of the food funeral and all the water and sodium making it through your body. Oh my God, are we crazy or what? Foodies, there's just, and having somebody that has no food issues, talking to them is like, really, I don't recommend it. Because there we are trying to make sense out of the nonsensical. I mean, they just aren't going to get it. And, so for us, trying to make them see why we do what we do, they'll just never get it. I mean, I love the comments. Just push away from the table. Don't go for seconds at the buffet. Oh, I don't even like sweets. I cut off the frosting when there's cake. Who are these people anyway? Where do they come from? Go back to where you came from. I don't want to hear about it. Yikes. So I'm sure that all of us at some point in our food frenzy has had a food funeral, thinking you'll never have it again. And I think that's the philosophy that's good for Weight Watchers, because they don't present it as that was the last time you're ever going to have that item. Okay? And I also see it in the low-carb, high-fat world where people are foraging their own recipes and things like that. Although the fat-burning man helps us a lot with his recipes. That would be Abel James. And there's other people that have cookbooks too, Dave Asprey and J.J. Virgin, the Diet Doctor. So there's tons of resources for us to see that we can have not only what we used to love, in that we would have our final food binge over, but we can actually recreate them in a safe place with our tracker, with our special ingredients. So if you're a Weight Watchers Smart Points person, or you're a Weight Watchers Points Per Value person, or you're a MyFitnessPal tracker, or like me, a Lose It tracker with low carb, high fat, with watching calories, however it is that you do it. You can find with a few clicks of your fingers a recipe that will suit you for what it is that you want to make that is not the full fat garbage item that it was before that got you to the place where you needed to do something about your weight. And so we are so lucky in 2016 where we can just go online and find the help. I can't imagine what it must have been like before all of these aids were here online that we could utilize every single day in the wee hours of the morning, late at night, insomnia, menopause, all those things that we can just go to the computer and actually find things along with other articles about how not to eat the same old, the window diet, or, have the food funeral. And sometimes they get closer and closer together as you lose a tremendous amount of weight and then gain it back and then go again and sign up for whatever program it was that you went on before and struggle with it. I mean, it just goes on and on. But the food funeral, excuse me, allergies. The food funeral doesn't have to be the death knell that it was. We can find other alternatives, and we can get satiated and find that this is this is not a bad idea. This recipe works for me. I can fit it in and have it. I know that since I've been low carb, high fat, my craving for not only garbage went away, but the sugary items that used to be part of my food, I am just not going to be able to say it, am I? My food feud, really, right, with the cakes. And I'm not desiring them today. I might be desiring a tablespoon of nut butter, my fat bomb, maybe my fathead pizza. Maybe I love my Fiesta bowl of vegetables with 3 to 4 ounces of meat on top, be it roast pork, be it leftover steak, be it roast organic chicken. I am totally happy and satiated, satisfied when I have that. Sometimes I add a pat of Kerrygold unsalted butter, and then I put on the Himalayan pink salt and lots of cracked black pepper. That seems to be very suitable to my cravings and urges today. I've come a long way, and it was hard getting rid. I never thought I could be around a cake and not say, oh, what the heck, you know. I did have part of a mousse cake a few weeks ago, and I just had the mousse part of it. I did not eat the cake part. And with the skill of a surgeon, I cut the cake away from the frosting so I could have every bit of either it was the frosting or mousse. I can't even remember what it was. And I bought it. So that's how whacked I am, huh? So anyway, the food funerals that you plan, I guess, you know, we just can't stop it. It's like the final thing, and we think that we'll never be there again. But, you know, many of us have gone the way of losing what we wanted to lose, hitting maintenance, maybe changing up our food plans, maybe not. But we have shown to ourselves and others that you can go a day without whatever was present at your food funeral and exist and be happy and be full and satiated and not be building up to a binge, not be building up to eating that item and wishing we didn't. We get stronger every day with whatever our food program is. Giving up sugar and grains for me helped me tremendously, enormously with my cravings and triggers. That's all I know, is that if I'm not putting that in my body, like a little bit of alcohol, you know, a grain or a sugar is a little bit of grain or alcohol. It's also like a little bit of nicotine if you've quit smoking, you know. It's like having a vape instead of a cigarette. To me, just going completely free of those things is what really freed me of the bondage that garbage had over me. That's my journey. Might not be yours. You may still be able to have garbage in safety. I can't. I couldn't. I tried it with many food funerals. It didn't work until I gave up completely the grains and the fight, and it became so much easier. And now, you know, when I crave Brussels sprouts, I'm telling you, if you ever told me that that would be my craving, I'd tell you you're whacked. So, have a wonderful day, and I hope that this video helped you. No food funerals on the way to your next meeting. You're signing up, you're re-signing, recommitting. You don't need to do it, but I know. Never stopped me. Nobody could have ever stopped me from my food funerals. But today I can say being grain-free is what helps me along the way today. Have a wonderful day. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Bye-bye for now.